The afternoon sun filtered through the grand windows of the Charleston mansion, casting a golden haze over the wedding guests milling about in their finest attire. I arrived precisely on time, clutching a carefully wrapped gift, my simple black dress hugging my frame without demanding attention. This wasn't my stage, it was my sister Chloe's, marrying into what everyone called old money prestige. But as I stepped through the ornate doors, the whispers hit me like a familiar chill. "She's lucky to even be invited," one aunt murmured to another, their eyes sliding over me like I was yesterday's news. I forced a smile, the kind that hid the ache building in my chest, and moved inside, where the air smelled of fresh lilies and polished oak. The usher guided me not to the front rows reserved for family, but to the very back, near the exit, as if I were an afterthought. I sat there, spine straight, watching my parents beam from their prime seats, accepting congratulations like they'd orchestrated the perfect match. Chloe, radiant in her designer gown, exchanged vows with Austin, her groom, a rising star in tech finance whose company was the talk of Wall Street. Applause erupted, and I joined in, my hands clapping mechanically while the hollow space inside me grew. Family gatherings had always been like this, me on the periphery, overlooked, reduced to the modest one who didn't quite measure up. In the bridal suite afterward, Chloe's eyes raked over my outfit. "At least you didn't embarrass us today," she said with a laugh that her bridesmaids echoed, their giggles slicing through the room like paper cuts. I swallowed the burn, responding softly, "I'm happy for you." Her blink of disappointment told me she'd wanted a reaction, a spark to fan her superiority. But I'd learned that silence wasn't defeat, it was armor. Growing up, Chloe's achievements were paraded, her scholarships, her promotions, while mine were footnotes, if mentioned at all. Birthdays blurred into her milestones, photos edited to crop me out. Invisibility tasted bitter, like champagne gone flat. But it taught me endurance. At the reception in the opulent ballroom, chandeliers twinkling like distant stars, I searched for my place card. There it was at a cramped table by the kitchen doors, squeezed between a pillar and the swinging entrance. The tag read extended guest, but it might as well have said irrelevant. A stranger across the table chuckled. "You with the caterers?" Laughter bubbled up around us, and I felt my mother's gaze flick past without correction, my father too busy shaking hands to notice. I sat, the cold wall brushing my arm, waiters rushing by with trays that grazed my sleeve, leaving damp spots on my dress. Each brush felt like another erasure, a reminder that to them I was background noise. The toasts began, glasses clinking, voices lifting in praise of Chloe and Austin, the power couple, the envy of Charleston society. Austin took the mic, his confidence filling the room like smoke. "Every family has its winners and its tag-alongs," he said, his eyes locking on mine with a smirk. "To Chloe's brilliance, and to her sister Olivia, who reminds us that not everyone needs the spotlight." The laughter roared, sharp and unrelenting, my parents joining in with nods and raised glasses. No defense, no glance my way. Betrayal stung deeper than the words, it was their silence that carved the wound. I sipped my drink, letting the bubbles prick my throat, thinking of how family was supposed to be a shield, not a blade. As the night wore on, more barbs landed. A guest handed me his empty glass, mistaking me for staff. Another round. Han, relatives nearby snickered, whispering, "She blends right in." I set the glass down gently, my voice steady. "I'm sure the waiters can help." But inside, the tally grew, every chuckle, every averted eye fueling the quiet storm building in me. Stepping onto the balcony for air, The magnolia-scented breeze cooled my skin, but not the resolve hardening within. Southern etiquette preached turning the other cheek, but endurance had its limits. Restraint wasn't weakness, it was a coiled spring waiting to release. The photo display along the walls drew the crowd next, framed snapshots of Chloe and Austin's perfect life, graduations, vacations, awards. I scanned them, searching for any trace of myself in the shared memories. Nothing. Cropped out again. Like that family vacation where I'd stood just off frame. Or the group shot from our cousin's wedding where lighting issues erased me entirely. An uncle sighed nearby. Such a flawless story. But flawless meant edited. Truths buried under gloss. The pain twisted deeper. Not just exclusion, but the casual cruelty of it all. Family bonds, I realized, could be chains if forged in favoritism. Austin's toast escalated, his voice booming. To new beginnings, leaving behind the dead weight. His gaze pierced me, the crowd's laughter following like obedient shadows. My chest tightened, each peal echoing the years of being the poor relation hand-me-down clothes for prom while Chloe sparkled in custom silk. My accomplishments dismissed as dependable while hers were stellar. Silence from my bloodline validated it all, turning humiliation into habit. But habits break when the pain outweighs the pretense. I sat taller, the decision crystallizing, no more consenting to inferiority. Then the doors swung open, the jazz band faltering as Fiona Hargrove, CEO of the conglomerate overshadowing Austin's firm, strode in. Whispers raced through the room. What's she doing here? Austin extended a hand, his grin faltering. Fiona. What a surprise. But she bypassed him, her sharp suit cutting through the crowd, stopping before me with a nod. Madam. The word hung heavy, respect unearned in their eyes now redirected. Austin stammered. Wait. What? The air thickened, guests leaning in as Fiona announced evenly. The acquisition is complete. Effective immediately. Gasps rippled outward. Austin's face drained of color. It's just a merger, business as usual. But Fiona's tone left no room. Full buyout. You no longer control it. The room imploded silently, admiration curdling into pity. Chloe's glass trembled, her glow fading. My parents froze, their borrowed pride evaporating. I met Austin's glare, my voice calm. Funny how fortunes flip. Poor family, tomorrow you'll report to us. The shockwave hit. Laughter dying, eyes turning to me with newfound respect. One line, born from years of swallowed hurt, flipped the script. Austin flushed, snapping. This isn't over. But the crowd pulled back, whispers turning against him. He paraded that wealth like it was forever. Chloe hissed at me. What did you do? I replied simply. I stopped being invisible. Their world crumbled, investors fleeing, allies vanishing, reputations in tatters. My father slumped, his boasts now mocking echoes. My mother clutched her necklace, silent for once. Pity edged my thoughts, but not regret. They'd chosen mockery over kindness, and choices demand payment. In the days that followed, headlines screamed, tech mogul ousted on wedding night, empire sold out. Austin's fall was swift, doors slamming shut on his pleas. Chloe retreated into isolation, her perfect marriage exposed as fragile. My parents faced the social exile they'd once inflicted, whispers dogging their steps. I returned to my office, taking the head seat I'd long avoided, my team rising in quiet respect. Vindication wasn't gloating, it was reclaiming space. The wounds lingered, but they no longer defined me. Freedom came not in revenge's fire, but in the peace of walking away, unburdened by their chains. As dawn broke over Charleston, I sipped coffee by the window. The city's quiet hum a stark contrast to the wreckage left behind. Their shame was self-inflicted, a price for years of betrayal. I didn't seek apologies. Survival was triumph enough. In the end, blood might bind. But truth sets free, and mine had finally spoken louder than their silence.